Mandatory minicamp is in the books for the New York Giants, but following camp, they have signed a veteran cornerback to the roster. He tried out, and he did enough to impress to get a guaranteed contract. We'll break that player down just around the corner, but first, I got to make sure everybody watching is subscribed to the video. When the Giants make a move, we make a video. So subscribe and turn your notifications on and help Giants Now by Chat Sports get to 50,000 subs. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm Marshall Green, but today's episode is about Tre Herndon, the veteran corner who has spent his entire career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 28-year-old got a tryout for Giants mandatory minicamp, and he is walking away from the two-day period with an offer that he has signed, and he is now a part of the 90-man roster for Big Blue. He was a UDFA from the 2018 NFL draft cycle, and he has appeared in a lot of action. He has a lot of reps under his belt. He's appeared in 83 games, has 34 starts, and he also has a lot of snaps as well. 3,110 total snaps on the defensive end. So this isn't some guy that hasn't played a lot, that he needs more reps. This is someone that has been there and done that, and he's going to be able to come in and contribute right away. I would not be shocked if Herndon makes the roster, but on top of that, ends up becoming the second corner on this team, starting on the opposite boundary of Deonte Banks. He's 5'11", 185 pounds. He went to Vanderbilt, and last year he had 46 tackles and 9 pass breakups. Something that I think is going to help Herndon get on the field early on in his tenure with Big Blue is his versatility. He's played a lot on the outside. He's played outside the numbers on defense, but he also has a lot of experience and snaps in the slot. Almost 1,500 snaps as that boundary corner in his career, but almost 1,200 snaps in the slot. So he can come in and he can produce and he can line up in the slot and on the boundary. He's going to be able to find a way to get on the field early on for the New York Giants. I'm excited to continue to talk about Herndon. We'll go over his PFF grades, his stats, and then I'm going to try to figure out who the starting corners are going to be. But before we do, I want to hear from all the real ones in the comment section. Be nice, but be colorful and creative like you always are. Your one-word reaction to Herndon signing with Big Blue. For me, it's needed. This was a much-needed move for the Giants. I have talked about time and time again that they need to go out there and add a veteran corner to this depth chart, because this is what the depth chart looked like before Herndon signed. You had Deonte Banks. I have confidence in him, but he is still a guy that's just entering his second season in the NFL, and he looked like a rookie last year, where at times he played really well, and at other times he didn't play so well. He had a rookie season, and I expect him to be better in year two. But Cordell Flott has not looked all that good at OTAs. He didn't look all that good at minicamp. On the first day, he got beat on a slant by Wan'Dale Robinson, and he took to the house for 50 yards. Nick McLeod is a slot corner who is a better depth piece than starting piece. We're not sure what Trey Hawkins is going to be in year two. David Long Jr. is a wild card. Andrew Phillips is a rookie. Thomas Oliver may not make this roster. Aaron Robinson hasn't played in nearly 2 years. And Darnay Holmes is a veteran that's mainly played in the slot that's trying to make that transition this offseason to be able to play a little bit more outside corner. So Herndon could be the guy that comes in and starts right away. We talked about if the Giants want to be a serious contender this year, they are going to have to be one of the top defenses in the National Football League. We know the front four is going to be great. We know Carrick and McFadden are good players. We're hype about the young safeties. But you add in a guy like Herndon, who has a lot of experience under his belt, broke 9 passes up last year, 5 the year before that, and then 5 pass breakups as well as 2020. He has showed he could produce. And he also was really good in the 2019 season. I know that's a long time ago, but he recorded 55 tackles, had 13 PBUs, and 3 interceptions. He also had 13 PBUs in 2019. You look at his overall PFF grades, and the thing that stands out to me is in 400 snaps last year on defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 368 of them coming in coverage, he had a coverage grade of 73.1. That would be the number 1 overall grade of any corner that played last year for the New York Giants. So PFF, kind to him. They recognize that can at least be somewhat sticky in coverage. You look at some advanced stats for Herndon, and I want to focus on just the completions in the targets and the completion percentage. He's not someone that's just a shutdown guy. He kind of was, though, in 2019, where he was targeted 80 times and he allowed 37 catches. A completion percentage of just 46.3. But then that ballooned up to 68%. The next year, he only played 9 games and didn't play all that much. He got targeted just 19 times in 2021. Then the next year, that number jumped to 43. Completion percentage went back to 72. And then last year, in 16 games played where he was targeted 62 times, he allowed 47 completions at 75.8% of a completion percentage. This isn't someone that's going to come in and change life for the New York Giants. I don't think he was the best veteran corner available. I think the Giants just found a way to find a player who they think they can help while also matching up the price point that they want to stick to. Yes, I would have rathered Stephon Gilmore be signed. And if it's all good off the field, I would rather Xavier Howard be signed. Maybe even Patrick Peterson. But Herndon, just 28 years old, maybe he can find another lane in his career where he could be a pretty good player for the New York Giants. We're going to talk about what this means for the depth chart, and I've got some interesting thoughts on Cordell Flott, who is supposed to be that starting boundary corner. But first, I got to make sure you've got your Malik Neighbors jersey for Week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. Go to chatsports.com/neighbors. That is chatsports.com/neighbors. I'll make sure that link is clickable in the comments and description of this video. As I scroll through my Twitter timeline just to make sure, I haven't seen it yet, but if I had to guess, I would assume that this is just a 1-year veteran minimum deal for Herndon with the Giants. And we've seen Joe Shane play that card time and time again in his 2.5, now almost 3 years or I guess it is 3+ years. He started in 2021. He started in 2022? No, I don't even know. I think it was 2021. That's 2022. 2 or 3 years, whatever it is. Joe Shane has been a guy that often goes to that veteran minimum type of deal. And I think that through OTAs and through minicamp, the Giants have learned that the corner position is still a major question mark. And Cordell Flott has struggled. You see almost any highlight from Malik Neighbors or Wan'Dale Robinson or Darius Slayton or Jalen Hyatt. Unfortunately, it's number 28 in blue guarding him. And it's always a bad thing when you're a part of a highlight as a DB when the wide receiver is the focus point. And Flott, he has just struggled. And I'm not so sure that he's ready to be an outside corner. They tried him out as an outside corner his rookie season, played 269 snaps there, just 15 snaps in the slot, but he wasn't all that good. So then they tried him out as a slot corner in 2023, completely flipped his alignment, 432 snaps in the slot compared to 45 on the outside. And the numbers show you that it doesn't really matter where he's played through 2 years. He's just an average player in this league. And I worry about that because he's entering year 3 after being a 3rd-round pick at LSU. And when you're entering year 3 and you were selected inside the top 110 like he was, you need that guy to be able to contribute and be a player for you. And I know Flott had a big-time pass breakup on KJ Osborne in the playoffs against the Minnesota Vikings, that it was able to put them in a 4th and long situation where Kirk Cousins dumped it off to TJ Hawkinson and Xavier McKinney made the tackle and the Giants won the game. But outside of that, Flott hasn't really done much. And I want him to be that guy. I want the 3rd-round pick to be the starting outside corner. The best way for the Giants to be good fast is for the players on the roster to live up to the hype. He just hasn't done that. And even though you go out and add Herndon, I'm still worried about this corner depth chart. It's corner and offensive line, the 2 position groups that I'm worried about. Hopefully Herndon can be great for the Giants this year. Banks becomes a top 15 corner in this league. Nick McLeod holds it down in the slot. Cordell Flott improves, and everything's all good. But I hope that happens. I want that to happen. I'm just not so sure that I have all that much confidence in that being the thing. Who do you think is going to be the starting CB2, though? We know Deonte Banks is CB1. Shout out to Tay Banks, switched number 3 this year. Ready to see him hoop. Ready to see him play. Who's going to be CB2? Is it Herndon? Is it Flott? Is it Hawkins? Let me know what you think in the comments. And make sure to follow me over on social media. I just got out of a meeting with the CEO of Chat Sports, and he told me that my social media sucks. So I took that as if I don't make it better, I may get fired. So give me a follow so I can continue to do this job.